Hi, I'm Dave Hilgendorf, and welcome back to Wednesday Work Advice, episode number 2, where we talk about things that relate to our work. And today we're going to talk about how does our work fit into our overall priorities in life. And it leads me to an initial question, which is, well, how do you determine what your priorities are in life? You can say what's most important to you, but how can you tell what really is most important to you? I've heard it said that if you look at a man's calendar and his checkbook, you'll know what's most important to him. And I think there's a lot of truth to that, is where we devote our time and our energy, as well as our finances. It does say a lot about what's important to us. And really, that logic was part of why I make the case in my book, Jesus is at Work, and the podcast we do, that our work is important simply because we spend so much time at our work. We spend half our waking hours in our job, in our career. And so it's important, and it's worth thinking about, not just in terms of making money, but in terms of our purpose in life and what we're doing as a child of God. But it can also lead you to some other questions like, am I prioritizing everything in my life to the right level? For example, am I spending enough time, quiet time with God? Am I praying enough? Am I reading the Bible enough? When it comes to my marriage, am I spending enough time with my wife or my kids? If there's a ministry that we're involved in, or a volunteer work that we do, am I spending enough time on that? Pretty soon we can run out of time really quickly and get really frustrated trying to figure out how do we give adequate time to the things that we say and believe are most important to us. And I heard in a sermon, and I think in a couple different ways I've heard this taught, and it was helpful for me, and that is, instead of making a list of your things that are important in your life, just start with God. Start with God as the center of your life, and let your relationship with Him influence everything else that's important in your life. Your marriage, your kids, your work, your hobbies. If you have a ministry, whatever it is in your life, if it's important to you, make sure that God is a part of it. Don't compartmentalize your relationship with God to what you would call spiritual things, and then have everything else in your life you're kind of doing on your own. Now, what does that look like? That is a journey. The answer to that question is not an easy answer. But what I have tried to do in my life more and more is to just focus on God throughout the day, and to remind myself to focus on Him, to pray to Him, and to think about Him, and think about how He has something to do with every part of my life. I owe Him for every good thing in my life, and He is my best ally, the person I'm most accountable to for every part of my life, my work, my marriage, everything. So that's been helpful for me, that visual reference, and I hope it is for you too, and we'll see you next time.